Hi, good evening. This is Enrique Palomino Hidalgo, and this is The Mind of a Man. I want to welcome every single one of y'all that's going to tune in. That's actually now joining me live on this Facebook Live. First and foremost, again, I want to welcome each and every one of you that's took the time to tune in tonight. I really do appreciate it. Once again, this is The Mind of a Man. Tonight's topic is going to be a topic that I started last week, and not because of due of time, because I think I think there was so much content in this one topic alone. I wanted to break it into two pieces, into two parts, and so tonight we are going to do the second part of how to find out if a man really wants to be in a committed relationship. Last week we talked about several points, several perspectives of what you ladies should be looking into to find out if the man that you're dating or would be dating wants to be in a committed relationship with you. So there was a lot of information that I shared last week. I just want to give you a small recap, because tonight's talk is not going to be that long, because the information that I shared with you last week versus what I'm going to share with you tonight is more or less going to be more recap. It's more of a recap, plus also some additional information that I just could not fit into that 1 hour space that I allocated last week. So again, welcome. This is The Mind of a Man. Tonight's topic is going to be how to find out if the man really wants to be in a committed relationship with you, and this is going to be part 2. Last week we started this topic, and again I got a lot of great feedback from a lot of you watchers that basically asked some questions that I think this tonight's talk is going to kind of fill in those gaps, those answers. So hopefully you'll find some great value to this talk this evening. And so once again, I want to welcome every single one of you that is logging in tonight and here tonight. Just if this is your first time, welcome. If you've been joining me since a month ago when I first started The Mind of a Man, thank you. Tonight is actually our 2-month anniversary. Basically, I've been airing these talks for I would say a little over 2 months now, and I am very grateful, and first and foremost God, because if I had not gone through what I've gone through, I probably would not have the information that I'm sharing with you all tonight. Just to give you a brief breakdown, if this is your first time being part of The Mind of a Man, how did The Mind of a Man came about? Well, basically it came because of the idea of hearing a lot of friends of mine, a lot of females, complaining of the lack of understanding why us men act the way we are, or we say what we say, act the way we act, and do what we do, and basically leaving y'all clueless and scratching your heads and trying to find out from your friends, from your female friends, any idea, any information, to where I basically had, just came up with the idea of tearing down the veil, unveiling, really revealing the insides of how us men we think, why we say what we say, why we act the way we act towards you women, and basically I'm breaking it down into different talks. The first talk, it was more about trying to decode the mind of a man and try and figure out why. Try and get it inside our mindset, just enough to where you ladies can understand where we come from. To this week's, this second series has been mostly towards the female, the single female out there that's either dating, is considering, going back into the dating pool because whoever they dated probably didn't work out, or you haven't dated in a while and you're kind of hesitant about getting into that dating pool. Well, hopefully whatever content I'm bringing to you is of value and you can apply it. And trust me, ladies, if I say this is because, first and foremost, like I've said it from the beginning, the qualifications that I bring to the table on this, the mind of a man, is first and foremost, I'm a man, and God. I've been groomed to be a man. Through my father, my mentor, my friends. I have friends from all sorts of levels of society. And trust me when I say this, we all have gone through the same exact thing, same time, same place, not same place, but same scenarios. Just the only difference is that we live them in different seasons of our lives. Some of us live it through our young adult lives. Some of us live it we experience it in our adult life. So more or less, it's just bringing more of a compilation of ideas of why we do what we do, and give you ladies an idea of why, just to basically stop asking your friends, your female friends, for information on why a man acts the way he acts. I've told friends of mine, stop doing that because it's not going to get you anywhere. Basically, all it is, your female friends are going to share their experiences. They're not going to give you the real deal. Basically, if you want to really get to the bottom of it, ask a man. Plain and simple. Stop going to your female friends, ask for advice. Go to a man, ask for advice. Trust this man. Basically, first and foremost, make sure that this man doesn't have an ulterior motive on why he's giving you this advice of his. All right. So again, tonight's talk is going to be the second part to how to find out if a man really wants to be in a committed relationship. Now, have you ever thought, ladies, and I'm talking to all these you single ladies that are either dating, are dating, but kind of in between, or you haven't dated in a while and you're basically now in the with the idea of trying to date again. So do you go into this mentality of how serious is he when he first approaches you? How do you approach this situation when a man approaches you? Are you defensive? Are you open to the idea? Are you already questioning? There's ways to understand how a man, there's ways where a man will approach you, and why would we approach you? And I've said it last week, and I've repeated it the week after, before then as well. That us men, we're very linear. We are very one way. We don't approach you because we care about your future goals and aspirations. We basically approach you because we saw something that we like, and we just want to come up to you and find out how much it's going to cost us to get into what we liked. So the right type of man is going to approach you in the right manner. Because at the end of the day, we just trying to measure out and figure out what level of expectations you are at. If your levels or expectations are up here, and it's the right type of man that is wanting the best for you. And again, like I've said, either we're going to plan with you or we're going to play with you. If you allow us to play with you, your expectations are not going to be that high. So it's going to make it a lot easier for that type of man to come into your yard and play around. And then when he's done playing around in your yard, he's just going to go walk away and find another yard to play in. So, I also called it sportsman, the fishing. Last week, I talked about it. That one of my mentors mentioned it. That dating is somewhat like sportsman fishing. Ladies, you got to figure out what type of fish that you wanting to be. You want to be that kind of fish that you're going to get thrown into, by that game fisherman, or the one that is going out there to actually fish for a fish to bring home. So you got to keep that in mind, ladies. So again, you want to go with the idea of being curious. When you first approach us, ladies, and ask us questions, trust me, we are not going to evade those questions unless we feel uncomfortable, and we are not in that mentality where we want to get to know about you. We just want a certain thing of you. We are going to try and give you some vague answers. So if you ask questions, and I've said it from day one, from the first Mind of a Man, the first talk, ask questions. So it's okay to ask questions from the get-go, because from that point, the more questions you ask from the very beginning, the less hassles you're not going to have to worry about. You're not going to have to worry about what kind of how much time you've already invested in an individual, because sooner or later, the man that's trying to get what he wants, his front is going to end sooner or later. He's going to slip sooner or later. His true intentions are going to come up sooner or later, because he is approaching it the wrong way. And because I've said it plenty of times, ladies, if you quit giving us the keys to the kingdom so quick ahead of time, there's going to be a lot of weeding out, of all these wrong men. Because if you don't give us the answers to what you want, we're going to have to work for it. We're going to have to work for it. And I've said it, and I said it last week. Give us something, give us the imagine, and let us imagine what we can have based on what we can see. So I wrote down a few notes here for this second part of the talk, and I read something online that really called out to me, and it says this: detach from needing to have things worked out in a certain way. The universe is perfect, and there are no failures. Give yourself the gift of detaching from your worries and trust that everything is happening perfectly. And which is true. If you ladies will stop worrying that things are not going to work out, it's going to happen. I'm a firm believer of the law of attraction, and I've talked about it, and I even talked to a few of my clients about this, that whatever it is that you're talking, whatever you profess, you declare, is going to come back at you. How many times, ladies, have you gotten the same type of man over and over? The same mentality, same attitude, maybe comes wrapped in a different package. But like I said, ultimately, sooner or later, the package comes undone, and the true, content comes out. Why? Because you're in such a repetitive pattern that's what the universe keeps giving you. So you keep giving us the keys to the kingdom. You allow us to wrap our the packages in different colors, different sizes, different flavors, whatever. Sooner or later, we're gonna bust out, and it's not, it's gonna be something different. So, and then that's where disappointment comes into play, and that's where not too long ago, someone wrote me and told me that it's so pretty to see that people can look forward to trying to find commitment, find love, but she didn't believe it, which it kind of it's a little bit contradictory to base it to where she doesn't believe in commitment or in love, but she is happy that other people do believe in it, and at the same time, it's happening to her that she's not getting that, in retrospect. So my only thing is, I told her, just stop thinking that way, stop professing it that way, and start talking more positive to your life. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. It may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen, a couple of weeks, it may happen a couple of years. But if you continue professing it and being more positive about it, things are going to change. Trust me, I know it's happened as a living testimony. But anyways, going back to you ladies are going to want to write a couple of things that I'm going to want to share with you all. You want to understand that every man that comes at you comes with an agenda. We do. Sometimes our agendas are a little too basic. Basically, all we want, just as crude as it's going to sound, we just want to hit it and quit it, and that's it. We just want to move on to the next one. That's most of the time. A lot of men's hidden agendas is that. Now there's other, you're talking. Now let's flip the coin. You have the other type of men that we do have another agenda. Another agenda could be the idea of trying to go out there and meet someone that we can connect with, someone that we can trust in God, that He'll put it in our lives so that we can connect with that individual and get to know them on a day-to-day basis and figure out who they are and basically step up to their expectations. Because I've told you, ladies, you set the expectations from the get-go. The right man, whoever the right man that God brought to your life, is going to stick around and is going to meet those expectations. They're not going to run away. Because at the end of the day, if you're worth our time and if it's worth that we want to continue pursuing you, we're going to meet those expectations. If we're going to continue moving forward, to continue meeting those expectations and probably even raising those expectations even higher to make you even better. Because at the end of the day, the idea is that, ladies, you want to make, by you setting those expectations, make us a better man. We want to do that in retrospect. We want to do that in the same manner. Whatever expectations we want in a good way, we want to raise those so to make you better, better ladies. But at the end of the day, there's a saying that behind a successful man, there's a woman that has supported him from the get-go. I really believe in that concept and in that idea. I've always said that even though the man may be the head of the family, the woman is the backbone of the family. Without the backbone, you can't stand up. You cannot have the body cannot stand on its own without the backbone. Backbone is one of the strongest. It's for me in the idea of a family. Without the backbone, there's no family. That's where you cement foundation based on the backbone. You have a strong family. Anyway, so let's get back into into this talk, because I think I'm rambling a little bit too much about trying to preach on other topics, and let's just go ahead and stick to the topic at hand. So, all right, ladies. So let's go ahead and start figuring out what exactly you have to say to a man to figure out whether he wants what kind of relationship he wants to be in, or if there's any sort of commitment in his answer. So and now remember, every situation is different. There's and I go into detail whenever I do have one-on-ones with my clients based on relationships, based on how they switch and understand. Now, what I help them is to understand the clarity of the situation, to try and figure out different methods to try and understand, their significant other in one way or another, from a man's perspective, of course. So this is how you're going to find out whether he wants a relationship. And again, keep in mind, so every relationship is very different. So everything is going to have to be custom tailored to depending on the type of man that you're talking to in that moment. Again, we are all the same, but we approach it differently based on our needs, our wants, and our desires. Remember, we want for us men, we're more of very simple, where we want three things, and I've mentioned them to you here last week. As men, we crave three things from you women in order for us men to have a solid view of the woman that we're with. We want to make sure that we have the engagement. I'm just trying to read my notes here, so excuse me for just a second. Just trying to get these the idea of what we're what we're wanting from you, ladies, is just, you know, the idea of we want encouragement, we want loyalty, and we want sex. That's, you know, those are the three things that we really want from a woman in order for us to feel more secure. And that's every man. You know, obviously we all take it in a different manner, but those are the three basic things that we want as men. So what we want and understand, ladies, is that once you are in that interview process, let's call it the interview process, because at the end of the day, you ladies are interviewing us for a position that you currently have open, which is significant other position, you know. At the end of the day, ladies, we have to apply for that position, and you have to give us the expectations. Just like any job, we have to present the best of ourselves, and it's okay for you ladies, again, to ask questions, to ask as many questions as you want. Check references, check whatever you have to do in order, because at the end of the day, this is your heart, this is your life, this is something that you're gonna have to invest in, and you have to be 100% sure that the man that's trying to apply for this position is going to be the right man for the job, you know. And yes, it is a job, it's a job that is going to be if it's the right man, it's going to have to be a lifelong process. It's a job, because we have to work. A relationship is all about work. It's not all rainbows and lollipops or whatever it is that they call it nowadays. It's work. It's mutual understanding. It's communication. You know, it's arrangements between both parties. You know, you have to understand that in order to move forward with a relationship and for it to see growth, you have to have a communication. You have to work into it. You know, nothing in life is easy. Even being single is not easy. You have to work at it. You have to understand that sometimes being single is not a bad thing, ladies, but you also got to understand that once you're ready for that dating, to start dating or to be into that committed relationship, you got to understand that you got to put in some work as well, because you don't just want to give in to just any man. Obviously, you know, it tends to happen. I understand some men may kind of fall through the cracks and kind of go in, you know, and catch you by surprise, but it's okay. That's why there's men like me and others out there that try to help you ladies open up your eyes and figure out, you know, what is the best approach to the right man to come into your life. And first and foremost, ask God for wisdom. If I could give you everything all summed up, ask God for wisdom, ask Him, and just be patient and have faith that things will happen according to His divine time. If I wanted to put everything all summed up in that's all I really wanted, you know, I could tell you. But there's a little more into details. So, all right. So, ladies, so let's go ahead and do this. So, first question, and I kind of gave you this question last week to write down. So let me recap this, and this is going to be a general question that you can ask any man, whether you're dating him already, you know, you're already kind of in a couple of weeks, couple of months, you know, you're kind of getting that idea, you know, that idea in the back of your mind, where is this relationship heading? You know, I think this question applies to any level of the dating, in any level where you're at in the dating scene, whether you're at the very beginning, you're in the interview process, you're in the probational period, like I mentioned to y'all last week. You know, you ladies have to put us men in a probational period, at least no less than 3 months. Why? Because that's how you're gonna know how serious we are about you. And I went a little too. I went into it in detail last week, but looking at it as an employment, we apply. You ask all the questions you want to ask, and one of these questions should be this question, because it really will give you a little bit more of an inside depth on how serious we would be. Based on our answer, you know, and then, you know, or if it applies during the probational period, the 90-day rule, wait 90 days, ladies. You know, if you give us 90 days to really show you who we are, then at the end of the 90 days, it goes into that permanent position. So I really encourage you all to think and understand which level of in that process phase you're currently in. So ask this question. This is going to be a question that you can ask anytime during the initial period. Hell, you can even ask it during after the 90 days if you're kind of given that unsure feeling. And again, because you ladies, you have that intuition feeling that never goes wrong. Apply this question and see where this man is wanting to take this relationship. At the end of the day, yes, we can lead the relationship, but it's up to you, ladies, to allow us to lead us in that direction. So if you ask this question, ask it again in any manner. So if you want to write it down, I would say write this down, and it would be this: if you could create anything you wanted, or if you could create your ideal situation in your love life, what would that be? What would it look like? Again, I'm going to repeat this question for y'all ladies. Question is, if you could create anything you wanted, or if you could create your ideal situation in your love life, what would that be, and what would it look like? If you ask that question, really listen to his answer. Because if you really look at, if you really want to drill down this question, it's not just a question. It's 4 different questions wrapped into one. But it's a matter of allowing us to use our creativity, our imagination. Remember, our imagination is what we're going to have to use in order to be able to present who we are as a person to you ladies. So if we're planning with you, we're gonna create something with y'all, and we're gonna give you the answer that is based on what we feel it's the best answer. It's someone and trust me, you're gonna catch us off guard with questions like this, and it's okay. But 9 times out of 10, I was almost gonna speak in Spanish. 9 times out of 10, you will find a man that is willing to answer these questions no matter what. Without being vague, without giving you a runaround, they're going to answer it straightforward. Now, again, these questions are going to give you a little more insight depth. They're going to give you a lot of information as far as where we at mentally, emotionally, and how available we are to look forward into a future. Because at the end of the day, us ladies, us men, what we're all about, we want something serious. We do. We really do. Some of us maybe are still in that playing phase because they're because of whatever influence that they've gone through, or whatever season they feel like they're in, that they have to play around. But I will tell you, ladies, that there's a lot of us out there that are either still looking, hopefully looking, and just really trusting God. Obviously we have to go out there, and because going out there and exploring and getting to know people, that's how you're going to find that right connection. He's not, it's us men, we have to go out there and again, I've used the hunting analogy. We are hunters. We gotta go out there. We're gonna go and find you ladies. You don't have to come and find us. We're gonna go find you, because that's how the universe works. One day we're gonna wake up and we're gonna feel like going out to a certain specific place. Why? Because that's what the universe is telling us to do subconsciously. So, and I'll talk to you more about that later on. But so you really want to pay attention to that question and figure out and really listen to their answer, because that's going to give you a lot of information. So let's go ahead and go into question number 2. Question number 2 you want to ask is based on it's going to ask you more about a relationship. And I also read something something else that I read that basically kind of fits into this mold, and it says a relationship should not be measured in months or years. It's the caliber of the memories that matter, their impact, the permanence, and the degrees to which they change you. I've had relationships lasting years I can now scarcely recollect, and hours with others that feel like infinities. How many times, ladies, have you met a man that just in the mere minutes that he's talked to you, has left some sort of an impression on you. But because either you were not ready, or because you were because of whatever season you're in, and there in your life, you just didn't pay attention to that. How many times have you given a man the opportunity where at the end of the day you've had that relationship and then something just didn't give, and it just didn't work out. You moved on, and honestly, I'll put myself in that position because it's happened to me, and it's happened to a few of my friends that I know for a fact that they do not recollect that you were somewhat either you dated, you went on a date, and again, it happened to me because of the idea that I had a friend of mine that her and I actually dated back in junior high, and it was just it was just weird. But anyway, so the idea was that neither of us remember that we actually dated. But anyway, but the idea is that it's true. There's men out there for us ladies. We're going to try and do some sort of try and impress you to where we can leave some sort of an impact. Sometimes these impacts leave a negative reaction, emotions, positive, depending on where we at, what happened in that relationship. So, but again, a relationship should not be measured in that caliber of months and years. It should be measured based on the emotions, the memories, everything that you've collected throughout throughout whatever the stint of the relationship. It's okay to ask him what his thoughts are about. And I shared it with you ladies last week. It's okay to ask him what are your short-term goals and what are your long-term goals, and honestly realize that those two questions are should be two different answers. Those questions should have two different responses. If a man gives you a big answer, or he tells you that he doesn't want a long-term relationship, if you ask him short-term goals, long-term goals, you can actually switch that out. You don't even have, if you don't want to ask him goals, you can ask him, do you want a short-term relationship? Do you want a long-term relationship? If that right there, if he doesn't want a long-term relationship, we are going to be pretty straightforward. We either going to tell you, no, at this moment I'm not looking for something serious. I just want to meet people. I just want to date around. I've heard that plenty of times through a lot of my friends, and so I just want to go out and have fun and just meet a lot of people and get to know people. Because at the end of the day, ladies, we are very straightforward. We know what we want, and what we want is you. At the end of the day, we don't want to play around. We want to plan around something that we can look forward to the future. Again, and I'm talking about on a perspective on the other side of the coin. I can't talk. I can talk to you about the other side of the coin, and it's mostly simple. We just want to go up to you, get what we want, and move on. We can tell you. And again, it kind of goes hand in hand with whatever answers you give us ahead of time. If you allow us to lead the conversation, understand this, ladies, we're trying to dig for those answers, because the more answers we get from you from the get-go, the more ammunition we can use to continue building towards what we really ultimately want. But if you ladies lead the conversation and tell us only what you're wanting to tell us, and set the expectations from the get-go, it's gonna make us work even harder, for it. And if we want, and 9 times out of 10, the right type of man he's gonna get in there and get his hands dirty. And if he's not the right type of man, guess what he's gonna do? He's just not gonna respond back to your text anymore. He's not gonna look for you, And if he looks for you only during certain odd hours of night, I would be questioning his intentions with y'all. So anyways, let's go back to again. So like I was saying, men are pretty straightforward. We're going to tell you whether we want one or we don't. and it's based on where we at in the season of our lives. And the only reason why I bring that point up is because there is an exception. And the reason why I put this exception into this context of is because the right man who doesn't want a relationship but doesn't want to be honest with you, he's gonna kind of give you that throw around vague answer to tell you, I don't feel like dating right now, but I really like you. I really want to get to know you. I just don't want anything serious. But at the end of the day, all really he's doing, he's trying to string you along with however many others that he's strung along, just in case that whatever, you could be his safety net. Whatever he's out there trying to look for and whatever he's doing out there may not work. Guess what? He's gonna come back to you. Why? Because you allow him to string you along. So, and it's just and again, it just kind of depends on what you ladies let us do. If you allow us to do that, then that's what's gonna happen. If you allow us to string you along, while we go and do whatever we gotta do, and if it all that out there fails us and allows us to come back, that's what's gonna end up happening. So, you gotta really, again, set up the standards, set up the expectations for us. Again, vague answers, we're good at it. We create vague answers based on our being uncomfortable and trying to really be honest with you, because we're scared that we're gonna scare you away, and we might lose out on the chance of trying to win that trophy, that trophy woman that we thought we could just have and move on. That's really what it's all about. It's, when it's the wrong type of man, we're just trying to collect trophies. For the right type of man, we're not trying to collect trophies. We're trying to collect the opportunity to be able to create memories, to be able to have that one special woman in our lives that we can trust, that's the one that God gave us as a partner, as a life partner, as a forever and after, that's what I call it. So, there's big answers. As men, we got plenty of big answers. Sometimes they're so vague that you can even think that us men sometimes in the back of our mind we're like, man, how did I come up with that idea? So, anyways, so just watch out for those big answers, ladies. Honestly, whenever you get asked a question, if you feel like he's giving you a big answer, that's a red flag for you, kind of to consider, and put that in that that mental checklist of yours, and know that whatever it is that you're allowing, figure out what's going to be a deal breaker for you. This man may have 6 things out of 10 that you're looking for. But those other 4, are you going to allow them to be deal breakers, or are you going to kind of let them slide? And if so, you're doing it at your own, you're doing it at your own risk, because at the end of the day, one of those 4 that you allow to slip by could potentially ruin the other 6 that you allow us, to come in through. So, ladies, we will welcome your questions. We will not evade the question unless it makes us uncomfortable. There's something that I've heard, in my lifetime, and I've heard it from other people, and I've heard it from family members, and I've heard it from friends. Then at the end of the day, whatever answers you get from us is based on what we get from you. So, there's 2 ways to go about this. If a man that's looking for a type of relationship, depending on where we meet, because nowadays the idea of living in social distancing has really made it a challenge for people to actually get to know each other more on the physical aspect of it. And now we're doing this whole thing with virtual phones, texting, message, DMs, and it's the idea of trying to figure out exactly how to really read the individual. I always encourage ladies to just keep it very simple. ladies, always make sure that if you're gonna talk to a man, make sure you talk to him either by phone, or if you're gonna talk to him, virtually, do it FaceTime, do it during the day if it's possible, or at night, early enough to where you can understand whether this man is being serious or not. Now, if you understand, and a lot of us will tell you, we'll give you kind of a breakdown of a time frame when to actually talk to us. Don't let us do that. You set the time. You let us know what time. Okay. So let's say you meet someone online, through one of these online dating sites, and and you ask that question to to a specific type of man. Some man will tell you, I would love to meet the right person, for me and settle down one day. That's the right answer. That's what I would say. I definitely want to meet someone later on and really settle down for. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. There's a lot of people out there that believe that, being single is not bad. I agree with y'all ladies that ladies think that, singleness is not a bad thing. It's not. It's choosing the right man based on what God gives you in your heart. Falling into these would-be traps of these men that are just going out there to hunt, and you allow yourself to go through these situations. I feel bad because as a man, we should not be putting you ladies through those kind of situations. So, we're gonna give you answers. We're gonna answers to your questions. And again, the main answer that we all should be is that for us, a lifelong goal, our objective, our goal would be to meet that special someone to really settle down with. Or give you some sort of an future expectation, something like maybe this is something I want before I hit, I don't know, 30. Obviously I'm not in that category anymore. For me, it would be, I don't know, maybe before I turn 45, before 45, I want to settle down now, but I'm professing that. So ladies, you can actually, you put yourself in that position. You can actually ask those, the kind of questions and if you get that kind of an answer, that's the right answer, because they have, they do have a plan set in mind. Also, if they're looking for a relationship within the next couple of years, they're still being specific, so that's where you kind of have to break down and drill down the idea of, this man is telling you that he wants to settle down one day. He's telling you that he wants to settle down before he turns a certain age. He wants to settle down in the next couple of years. I mean, the more questions you ask and the more answers that he actually gives you with a specific time frame should give you an idea of where his head is at, and with regards to having a committed relationship. So you really want to listen to those answers. So, all right. So let's go ahead and recap this before we go. I want to give you a couple of questions to write down and really digest them, because these questions will help you down the road to whatever man it is that comes to you knocking on your door. At the end of the day, it's okay to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. Don't ever let any man tell you that you should not be asking questions so early ahead in the process. Again, look at it as an application. We're applying for a position with to be by your side, to be who be your significant other, be your a potential spouse. If that's in the cards. Of course, nowadays a lot of people really don't believe in marriage anymore. But for us that really still do believe in marriage, we want to apply for that position one day. But we also, but you ladies have to, interview the right type of man for that one position. Because I'm sure, ladies, deep down inside, that is something that you will love to do once again. So, let's recap and, on that one question that I gave y'all. If you could create anything in your love life, or you could create your ideal situation in dating and relationship, what would it look like, and what would that be? You really ask that question, I'm sure you're going to get tons of information on finding out whether this man is going to be someone that you want to give a second chance, a second date, or is going to end on that first date. it's really going to be up to you, ladies. So really listen to that answer. So, and understand that whenever, ladies, you listen to those answers, put yourself in the feminine energy. There's a masculine and feminine energy. You gotta, if you're in the feminine energy, you're going to be more emotional. You're going to listen a lot better, and your intuition is going to kick in like that. So, and once your intuition kicks like that, that's when you're gonna pick up on those red flags. That's what you're gonna pick up on, those inconsistencies, whether or not we're gonna tell you something that we might slip up, and we're gonna say something that we probably just didn't say in the previous answer. So keep your ears open on that, ladies. Okay. Remember that in order to make a relationship last, you gotta really have to flow with a person as they change. Give them space. There was a quote that I read. It says, "My friend always told me about his grandfather who was with his wife for 60 years before she passed. His grandfather said that all that time, his wife changed so much it felt like he had been with 8 different people by the end. But he said the secret to making it last was that through all those changes, he never suffocated his wife with his own idea of who he expected her to be. Rather, he loved fully every new woman she became." And that's really what us men, if we have our mentality and our frame of mind, our emotion, our heart, should be that we should not be the controlling type. Ladies, you dictate, you give us the expectations, we need to meet those expectations and change accordingly to every phase of your life. And that's plain and simple, we are pretty, there's a lot of us men that we are very upfront about what we want and how we want it. There's other men out there that are not that upfront, but, and those are the ones that are going to kind of give you those vague answers. And, and those are the ones that are going to give you those, based on your intuition, those are the ones that are going to give you those red flags. So, so before we end tonight's talk, I want to give you some questions. I'm not going to give you all the questions, but I will give you some questions that I feel will be ideal, important for you to use on a day-to-day basis, based on your future. And I'm talking to you ladies that are starting to date, are dating, or maybe you want to use these on the men that you're dating currently, and you just want to, just on curiosity, kind of want to see where his mindset is at. So, ask him. I'll give you a few questions here before we go. So I just want to go ahead and write these down. And if not, when you can always come back to the video once it's uploaded to my page. You can always come back and figure out, and write these questions down, just in case if you don't get to write them down. So here we go. You can ask, this is one of the first questions that you might want to ask, either on the first date, second date, and again, like the other questions, these questions also apply to whatever phase in the relationship you're in. So, first question would be, what do you value most in a relationship? Okay, I'm gonna repeat that one more time. What do you value most in a relationship? Okay. Question number 2. What quality is most attractive to you in a partner? I think this one goes more towards your first dating. You're getting to know this individual on a first date basis. You want to ask him, what quality is most attractive to you in a partner? Now, if he tells you a physical quality, obviously a red flag right there, because the quality should not be based on just on the external. It should be on the internal. For me, quality would be their and I'm not gonna say spiritual lifestyle, because I think it's been way overused nowadays. For us men, we use that a lot. So I think for a quality that I personally find attractive in a partner is their character. the idea of understanding and identify their love language. You know, that's a quality. You know, a quality. Their humbleness, the idea that they put themselves last, you know, to be able to serve others. That's a quality that that you definitely, a man should actually look into a woman as far as a quality. So anyways, question number 3 would be, what is your relationship like with your parents? And I said this last week, ladies. A man that has no relationship with his parents, especially his mother, should be a huge red flag, because if the way he treats his mother, it can only be a mirror image of how he would be treating you. Now, this also goes towards a man that has daughters, sisters. You know, identify those type of relationships, because at the end of the day, how he treats those close relationships will tell you exactly what kind of man he could potentially be in the long run. So ask him that question. What is your relationship like with your parents? You know, does he call his mom once a day? How close is he to his mother, to his father, to his siblings? Is he a family man? Is he, you know, does he see him once or twice, you know, a month? You know, those kind of questions definitely will give you a lot of answers based on the idea of this individual. You know, now there is an exception to the rule. You know, maybe their parents are not, you know, here physically. Maybe they're, you know, maybe for an unfortunate reason, situation, that maybe they're not here in this earth anymore. You know, so it kind of understand, you know, you're gonna have to kind of weight this question based on the situation of the individual. But again, if that's the case, ask him what kind of relationship he had with her, or with him, with, you know, her dad, or, you know, his dad or his mom, when, you know, if they're no longer in this earth. You know, so drill down on those questions. So, and you're not, and ladies, when you ask questions, you know, if you come at us in a curiosity manner, we definitely are going to open up a lot more than trying to receive more like you're prying into our private life, which, you know, again, that wrong type of man will approach it in that manner. The right type of man will just approach it as in a manner where you're trying to get know more about it. So, question number 4: what are your long-term goals? And I would add to that question also, what are your short-term goals? So, question number 5: name 3 things you'd like to have in common with your partner. Opposites attract, but there's also commonality. I can't even talk anymore. Commonality also relates to a partnership, and actually makes it stronger. So, ask 3 things that you like to have in common with your partner. You know, ask them, what makes you laugh? Really, what makes you laugh? Because a man that can laugh will tell you also about his, you know, type of mentality, his state of mind, his emotion, where he's at in that moment. So, ask, what is one thing you won't tolerate in a relationship? Should be a really strong, depth question that you should definitely ask. Ask, what is your biggest strength and weaknesses? Again, we're going back to interviewing. That's like we're interviewing for a job. It's okay for you to ask this question. What is your strong, you know, points? What is your weakest points? You know, at the end of the day, I've said it. If a woman should compliment us men in our weakness, in our weak moments, in our weak points, but also allow us to continue to be stronger in our strong points. Because at the end of the day, we can be strong where they're weak, and they're going to be strong where we're weak, and that's commonality right there. Question number 9 would be, are you family oriented? I think this kind of falls into that. What kind of relationship they had with their families. So, I'm gonna give you one more question, and this is going to be, I think this is going to be the last question that I will give you. But at the same time, kind of think on this one, okay? And this is something that you might want to really be drill down on this. How do you spend your downtime? as the older we get, this is a very important question because it kind of gives us an insight to our how well we spend our income without asking and putting us off in that kind of awkward situation. Because at the end of the day, you want to know that this individual is not dead broke, be a broke ass, and just trying to get after you for your money because based on what you're doing for a living, So if a man asks you right away what you do for a living, and and you have pictures of your car, your house, and all sorts of things, just understand that that's also a way for us to kind of get to to what we want. There's a lot of broke ass men out there, so anyway, so I'll give you one more question. Who is God in your life? I think that is the number one question, the number one question that you should always ask a man. Who is God in your life? Really, it's not about going to church every Sunday. It's what makes that internal, that material, that nucleus in your life, and it should be based on what you present yourself as, not only in public but also in private. So, us men, we will have no shame in telling you who God is in our life when we have God in our life. If we have to give you a big answer based on that question, that's a huge red flag that you really want to consider, ladies. So, okay, ladies. So tonight's talk comes to a conclusion, ladies. At the end of the day, single ladies, if you're in that dating pool, stop seeking. Let God bring it to you. Ask questions. Well, you're gonna have plenty of men approach you. That's a guarantee. Why? Because we're out there looking. But if you let God direct you by you using wisdom and using these questions, I guarantee you will weed out 99% of the unwanted men in your life, and you will have a better lifestyle. More calm, more peace, more serenity. Your perspective will clear out even better. So, again, at the end of the day, ladies, you're the captain of your own sailboat. You direct who you want to let into your boat or into your yard. It's up to you, ladies. At the end of the day, if you allow us, give us the keys to the kingdom, and if we're in the wrong mentality, we're gonna do what we gotta do to play with you and not plan with you. But if you give us the keys to the kingdom after the 90 days, and it's the right type of man, because that's what God brought to your life, and He is meeting your expectations and then some, guarantee you'll be extremely happy. Ladies and gentlemen, mostly ladies, thank you again for being part of this talk. I had an amazing time giving it to you all. I definitely look forward to the other talks that I'm currently working on. And tonight's talk, again, it comes to us in our second month already of the Mind of a Man. I can't thank God enough for all this the ability and the opportunities that He has given me to be able to be here with you all. And I really hope that you all have found some value, even to the smallest degree, on everything that I've been giving you and sharing with y'all. And again, I do this out of the goodness of my heart. I do this with the most and humble servitude towards all of y'all ladies. I don't do this for anything other than just share information, be able to help you ladies some way, somehow. And if it does, may all the glory be to God. And if it doesn't, and if this doesn't serve you, well, just move out of the way and let somebody, it may help somebody else that's currently out there. So I wish you all the best. I really do. I wish you all the best. I hope y'all have an amazing week. Thank you all again for being part of the talk, being part of the Mind of a Man, giving me so much support, giving me your comments, and really your feedback helps me tremendously to continue bettering myself and continue bettering these content talks that I want to continue bringing to you all. But we have come to the end of this talk. Next week we are going to. I am going to bring a new talk. Next week is going to be a little bit of it's going to be a little bit different. I am going to record it. I am going to not be in town. I actually have I'm going to be out of town on business next week, and prayer. If y'all can pray for me, it's a huge opportunity that's come to my doorway. Thank God. Based on my other profession, which is I'm going to share with y'all, it's professional wrestling. I've been doing it for 18 years, and it's a huge opportunity that's come to my door, and I will be traveling next week. So next week's talk is going to be a recorded talk, but it's going to come out at the same time, same day for you all. And we will be talking, I will let y'all know, we're going to be talking about the love languages. Love languages that are imperative, important to understand. That ladies, us men, we also have love languages that that sometimes get masked, and they get tainted, they get blurred based on how we act, based on our current situation. So we're going to be talking about the love languages for us men. And I'm going to be breaking them down into each week as we come. So we're going to talk about the first love language next week. And once again, it was a pleasure. Love being here with y'all. I hope you all have an amazing evening. May God bless y'all. May God give y'all rest, peace, serenity throughout this evening, so y'all can wake up with joy and happiness. Joy, happiness is the same thing. Joy, health, love, and just the immense gratitude that God gave you another day to live. If you wake up in the mornings, because God is not true with you all. So ladies, thank you all. God bless y'all. Take care of each other, love each other, protect each other. Y'all are the backbone of every family. No matter what anyone tells you, please know that you are loved. You are being prayed for, and whatever it is that we can do as men, we are here to serve y'all. And no matter what, is there anything I can do for y'all? Please drop me a comment. I'll be more than happy to help in whatever way I can. Other than that, y'all know what to do. Please share it, comment, like it, do all those fun things. If you are watching this for the first time and you're not part of my page, send me a request, or just go ahead and just follow me. And definitely, I do appreciate you all. Once again, thank you all. This was the Mind of a Man topic. Series tonight is the idea of how to find out if a man really wants to commit a relationship. Thank you all. God bless y'all. Have a good night. I will see y'all next week with another talk. I'll see y'all later.